Man, it's shining so bright. It pulses its rays right onto you. Some spiritual lore says it's like the Akashic records, as in the collective conscious. So speaking to it and receiving it, it empowers you. And I think that is the real reason for those planes expelling all that gas, fluid stuff, clouds. I don't know if it's for HARP. I don't know. I can speculate probably for hours, but that's what the main focus is. Fear is the gas bullshit, because when you think about it, that's what it does. There is love and light. And you have to, you must, you should, etc. at all. That's not the artificial light we find in schools and where we go to work and in our homes. We don't need to go to work. We have everything we need here. Work should be illegal. Hence the correlation of, I'm going to make him pay, as in suffer. You go to work and you put on your wardrobe and worship your legal name. You worship your job. Those are idols, things you set up as God before God. You are the creator here. But you speak spells you don't even put thought into. You just read and respell what you were written, especially at school. I mean, when I talk about the confusion of languages and words only, you can't change the meaning of words. That's why you've been given definitions, because words have shapes, they're symbols and signs. When you string together A with all these other, each one is a word. So you say that this word has a definition, as in it means something, but a word is composed typically of more than one letter. But each letter is a word. So you can't take like cat, rock, stone, bat, dog, tree, and be like, oh yeah, that means go. Like, no, it doesn't. It means bat, rat, cat, and stuff. You know, that's what it means, all those words. It doesn't mean, so your words, like, there's so much utter confusion going on. People have no idea who they are and what they're capable of. Like, when I talk about the church, pastors in church, and they want the focus to be on that Jesus died for your sins. That's Christians, the Christian church. Jesus died for your sins, rather than what Jesus said, that we would do greater things than he. And he was raising the dead, healing leprosy, walking on water, turning water into wine, and other miracles. He didn't take the temptation of all the riches. Everybody has more than what they need. What do we need? Water. We don't even need a house, man. We don't. And they could be constructed so efficiently, like all the new eco homes. And I don't mean mansions. I mean we should have mansions and palaces, but they should be erected from the earth, a good, 50 feet or so, pillars. And from those pillars, we have like a dodecahedron shaped city. And then we extend from like the angles from each octagon pillar, house city, and everybody would have a home at each dodecahedron. And we would have we'd be able to travel intercontinentally, transoceanic travel in hours. And we could do this 2 or 3 times, or even 4, 5, 6 times a day. We could just, I'm out, poof. And then we look below us from our skyscraping pillar dodecahedron city homes, hyperlooped. From each octagon, there's how many angles? I don't want to say 10, but maybe there are. I'm not a mathematician, but it's at least 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 or something like that. And from each one goes a Hyperloop tunnel to a certain, I don't know the exact length away from each one, but they probably wouldn't see each other, because by giving the bison back the underbrush, like on the North Continent region, I don't use fictitious titles, and when I do, but I endeavor to use them as least as possible, because they are copyrighted, trademark, patent accounts that I didn't create. My mother did give me a name. She gave me a first, middle, and last name. But that doesn't mean nobody else can give me a name, or that I can't choose a name for self. Plus, my true name, your true name, cannot be spelled nor pronounced. Its pronunciation actually is permanent. And it doesn't have a meaning. It has a meaning you should be giving it, not indoctrination from the earliest age. I mean, as soon as you come out the womb, poof, they got you. Stamp the soul on the paper at the doctor. He sends it off to the bank or whatever government. They send it to some fictitious titled establishment, and they take that birth certificate and they create a corporation through it. And you're supposed to pass the bar exam before you use any titles. That's all legal stuff, legal call. But like through fear, intimidation, coercion, and threats of being kidnapped, cage, I want to say, not kidnapped, because kid means goat, baby goat, sheep child thing. In school, that's fish. I can go on about on and on about the animalism in our vocabulary. Bean, bean is something you eat. Why would you call your child a bean? We change the meanings of the words, and that's why there's so much like chaos in the world. And we're here to bring forth order. I am. And I know there's gonna be a funnel effect created very soon, and in June we'll get to the United Nations and get all this shit squared away. And as far as the dodecahedron hyperloops, like, come on, man, let's do it. Like driving automobiles would be fun, but we'll do, it is fun to have like surfboards and all these things. I'm not saying to stop, like just sit there. Like one cop officer said, he implied and insinuated by using the words, what would we do? Sit back and sling shit at each other like monkeys? See, he thinks he's a monkey spinning on a ball floating through space accidentally. One look at NASA on the fraudulent aspect, which goes on and on and on, like the fake photography and cinematography and shit. Like, you can't do that and still be credible. And plus, looking at the moon, you'll know that it is self-illuminating just by light dispersion and diffusion. You'll just look at it, and common sense will eventually start sinking in. I spend hours every day and night doing this sun and moon and sky and stargazing thing, you see? And when we do that, like, man, it's apotheosis and ascension. Most people, I'd probably say like 90% of people won't know what those two words even mean. And that's like with 90% of the vocabulary that I typically use, like when I write. People don't know it goes past the 12th grade, homie. Like a PhD, MD, that's about 12 years after 12th grade. So that's 24 right